array is a user-defined data type which stores the same type of data in a single variable. I repeat, array is a user-defined data type which stores collection of same type of data in a single variable. Now the question is why we are going to use the array. Let me give example. Suppose if you want to store the marks of 100 children, then what will you do? You have to declare 100 variables. Suppose if you want to store the marks of 1000 children, so what have to do? We have to declare 1000 variables to store the marks of 1000 children. So that is a very lengthy process, and that is not a good programming technique. To solve this problem, Java provides array concept. So array tells to store collection of same type of data in a single variables, means 1000 variables data you can store in a single variable. So that's why I told that array is a user defined data type which store the same type of data in a single variable. Same type of data means all will be integers, or maybe all will be float, or maybe all will be character, or may all will be a string. In Java there are two type of the array. You can see friend, 1DA means one dimensional array, and the second is two dimensional array. One dimensional array means an array having one row or one column, that is called one dimensional array. After knowing this, what is array and types of array, we are going to understand the one dimensional array. So as I told that one dimensional array means an array having one row or one column, that is called one dimensional array. Now we are going to understand how to declare one dimensional array. To declare one dimensional array, we have to simply write data type, that is int, and then we have to declare name of array. So int marks, and then you give, this is the size of array. This square bracket is going to tell what will be size of array, and so equal, then we have to give the new operator, then int, and then size of array. Suppose I want to store the marks of 5 subject, or the marks of 5 children, so here the array size is 5. So you can see here int marks, then you can see here, right? So this is the array declaration. You can see here int, then marks, and then you can see here. So this is the array type of declaration. When I declare this, so you will be see this array has 5 slots, means this is capable to store the only 5 int type of marks, not float type. As I told that the array stores the use of same type of data in a single unit. So you can see here the marks is a single variable which is going to store the marks of 5 subject or 5 children. Let me show you. But here this slot is totally empty, nothing is inside that. So let me show you how this is empty. So here I am going to write here the class array and demo. Okay, so this is my class name, you can see here. Then public public static main method, or simply if I write a main over here, you can see the main is here. So just click, you will be see the main is going to be written. Okay, so you can see here I have written my class name. The class name is the array demo because the name of my file is array demo, so you know that. And here I am going to declare one variable marks, which is going to store the marks of 5 children. So let me show you, friends. If I print this, let me show you. If I print sys.out, if I print this marks, and I want to print the first value. To print the first value, we have to give the index number, and index number starts from the 0, which you know from the 10th standard. If I print this, so you will see it is going to print only 0 because I have not given any value. You can see, friend, it's going to print a 0 value. And as you know, this is going to take the 5 array elements. So to get the next array elements, we have to give marks 1. To next, we have to give the marks 2. And if you want to get the last array elements inside this marks, so we have to give the marks 4. Why this 4? Because the index value, we can say the value which is used to access the array elements, start from 0 and end to n minus 1. So here start from the 0 and n minus 1 means the n is 5, so n minus 1 means 4. So the last index value will be marks 4. But this technique is not good to print all. Better for us to put here loop int I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Now instead of this 0, I will put here this I, and here I want to just print, and I want to put here a space. Now I'm going to print. If I run this, you will see it's going to display only 0 0. Okay, because this array marks has no any value. So let me show you, friends. So you can see it's going to print 0 0. Means I have declared the array having the 5 array elements storage capacity. It can't take more than 5. It can take less than 5, but it can't take more than 5. That is the only drawback of the array. Means once you have fixed the value, so that will be the maximum storage capacity of that array elements. So here we got how to declare array elements. Now we are going to understand how to initialize array elements. To initialize the array elements, simply what have to do, friends? I am going to initialize over here. Just put this curly bracket and give the array elements. I am giving the array elements here. You can see, and you can see this is dynamic. So whatever you are giving, it's not necessary you give 2, 3, 4. As per the requirement, you can give it. You can see I have a declare here. Declare and initialize the array elements. So it has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 array elements. So if you give your 5 array elements, so here will be 5 because we are accessing the 5 elements. If you have a 10, so here will be 10. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in the mind. And if I run this program, so you can see this is going to print this 12, then 25, then 89, then 10, then 25. Let me run it. You can see, friend, it's going to print it. So how we are going to accessing the array elements? To access the array elements, we have to use the array name and then index value. And as we know, the index value starts from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and n minus 1. That is the last array elements. So here we got how to initialize array elements and how to declare the array variable and how to access the array elements. To access the array elements, we have to give the array name, then index value. So index value starts from the 0 and n to n minus 1. So this is the technique to get it. Okay. Now we are going to understand, or we can say we are going to solve one question, calculating average of array elements. Means we are going to declare 10 array elements, then we are going to find out average of that 10 array elements. Let's see friends, how will we do this. So here I am going to declare 10 array elements. You can see here, then 40. You can give any elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. You can see. So here will be 10. So now we are going to print this array elements. So let me show you friends. If I run this, you will be see all the 10 array elements are printed. You can see here. And one thing I want to tell you friends, if you don't know the size, you are not aware about the size, so you can give here the one, there is a properties, this marks dot length, that can be also possible, so you can try this. Now we are going to calculate this average of this 10 array elements. So what have to do friends, let me show you friends. We have to just a minute friends, I want to arrange it so that it look better and easier to understand. I'm taking it, yeah, that is best. Okay, so here we are going to understand where the curly bracket is going to be opened and where the curly bracket is going to close. To store the addition of this array elements, we have to take one variable. So I'm going to take a variable that is let me take here a sum, and then equal sum plus and marks, what have to give, marks I. So what will be happening friends, this marks I will be added to this sum, right? And here this, let me, before I will suggest that before using this you declare, or let me declare here only, no problem, int, yeah, sum. Now I'm going to run this. So addition will be done of all these array elements. Let me show you friends. Yeah, you can see the error is coming. Why the error is coming? The variable sum might not have been initialized, so it will get initial value. So what have to do friends, you declare here int and sum is equal to 0, give a initial value 0, and you remove int from here because we have a declare. Now there will be no any error. Now let me run. You'll be see it's going to uh, print the only this array elements. It's not going to print the sum of the total array elements of given here, right? So printing that, what have to do friends, we have to give here we have to print here sys.out, and here I want to print sum of 10 array elements and equal, and then plus and then sum. Now we will be see the sum is going to be printed. You can see friends, the sum is going to be printed over here, right? Now I want to calculate the average. So what have to do friends, after calculating this sum, we have to divide by 10. You know the formula to find the average of a given elements. So not to sum of the all the elements divided by number of elements, or we can say sum of observation divided by number of observations. So I will take one more variable over here, and this is let me take here float and avg, and I'll put here 0, right? And then I will use this avg is equal to sum divided by 10. So this is going to be printed, and let me here print this average of this, because already we have a calculated over here the average, so need to print it. So I will write here sys out, and here I will write average of 10 array is equal to, and here plus I will give here avg. Let me run, friends, and let me show you what is happening here. If I run, you can see the average of this given numbers are going to be printed. So you can see here, firstly we are going to print the list of all the array elements, and then we are going to print the sum of array elements, and then we are going to divide this array elements by 10. So 498 divided by 10, it will be 49.8. Okay, it will be 49.8, but it's going to print 49.0. The reason is that because this is int type, so we have to do, friends, we have to do something here. Sum is int type, so to get it we have to write here float, and we have to close this. So that we have to do. Let me show, and let me run it. Yeah, you can see the error is coming. Why this error is coming? Let me find out. Oh, just a minute, friends, don't worry. Let me write here float. Actually this sum is if I take here float, so I think there will be no any problem. Float, and here, yeah, now it will be work. Let me show you. Yeah, very good. You can see, friends, the total array elements over here, and then the sum of the array elements which is given here, and then the average of this 10 array elements. I hope it is very clear. So this is a complete a program which is going to calculate the average of 10 array elements. If you change the numbers, you will be see, friends, so this calculations will be changed. It's not say, okay, let me show you. If I change here and if I save and run, and you will be see this is going to be changed. You can see it's going to be printed 490, and 490 divided by 10, it will be 49, right? So I hope it is very clear, everyone. Now one more program we are going to do. We are going to understand how to sort the array elements. Suppose same we have a data and I want to sort it. So how will we sort it? I want to rough this because I don't want this one. Okay, I want to sort it. So what will I do, friends? I will be just I will write here one code, this arrays dot sort, and what will I pass inside that? I will pass marks. But you can see, friends, the error is coming because this arrays dot sort is not mentioned from where we are going to use it, and this is inside the Java. Let me import Java dot util dot, we have to write here arrays. and now you can see there is no any bugs. So now it has been sorted. It has been sorted. What have to do, friends? So let us see, friends, how to solve that questions. As I told that we are going to sort an array element, and this is the ascending, means we are going to arrange this data in ascending order. So we will see how we are going to arrange it. Let me make it changes over here. I am going to give here uh, yeah, 450, right? Now we are going to print this after sorting. So we have already sorted this. This list has been sorted. Now we have to print it. So how to print? Just copy this and paste after this. And let me put a message over here. Sys out array elements before sorting. So that we will understand what is happening here. And after sorting, I want to show the masses here, the array elements after sorting. So let me put here message after sorting. Now simply what I have to do, friends, we have to just use arrays dot sort and the array which you want to sort. But before adding this, what we have to do, friends, we have to add, let me show you, this we have to add import java.util.arrays, because this sort method is not our method. This is a method from a java.util from array. So we have to mention, right? Now we are going to run this and let me show you what is happening. If I run, you can see, friends, what is happening. First, we are going to see the list of array elements as we have declared it's going to be printed, and then we are going to see the list of arrays in a ascending order. So I hope it is very clear. So we understood how to print the array elements, how to sort the array elements, how to perform average of the array elements, how to access the array elements, how to declare the array elements. I hope it is very clear. Friends, let's see one more example. Here we are going to find out the maximum of 10 array elements. So how to solve that problem? Let us see that. We are going to find here, find maximum of 10 array elements, 10 or 20, whatever you can take it, 10 array elements. So what have to do, friends? If there is a list of 10 array elements, so from them we have to find which is the maximum. If you understand how to find which is the maximum, same way you can find the minimum. Let's see how to solve that. So here the class name is, you can see the arrow demo. So here I will write array demo, and then I will write here main, and you know afterward what will happen. Let us see a variable here double, and here I'm going to take marks, and this is a marks of 10 children marks. So I'm giving here, so 450, then next, 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 and you can see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, one more is remaining, so let me give here, I'm giving here double triple five. Okay, so here I have given the marks of 10 children, and I want to find out which is the maximum among them. So let us see how to find this. So for that we have to take one variable. Let me take double max, and initially we have to put the 0 inside that. And what have to do, friends? We have to use a loop over here for int I is equal to 0, I less than, and as I told, instead of writing the size of array element, you can write, there is a one property, let me show you, marks dot length. So this marks dot length will automatically get the length of array. So instead of giving this uh, length, you can give marks dot length and then I plus plus. Now what have to do, friends? We have to check it. If marks, or let me check it, max less than marks I, means what will happen, friends? It will check it. If the marks is less than max is less than marks I, means the first value, then second, then third, then what have to do? We have to swap this value. So max will be marks I. So what will happen, friends? Firstly, it will come for checking this one. 0, max has 0 already, so 0 less than 450. So what will happen? Yes. So what will happen? Max is equal to marks I, means marks 450 will be stored in the max. Then it will come back again, it will check. Now the max has 450. 450 less than this 567? No. So what will be happen? It is yes, it's less than. So now max will be 567. So this process will be continue. Okay. And now I want to print the maximum mark. So I will write here this out, and here I will print a message maximum marks is equal to, I will put here plus, then I will write here max. Let me save and let me run it. I'm going to run it. Yeah, you can see, friends, it's going to printed all this maximum marks. Why this is happening? Because I am going to print inside this loop. So it should be printed outside the loop. So after this loop we have to print, that we have to keep in the mind. If I run this, you will be see it is going to print the maximum marks. Yeah, you can see 954 is the maximum marks. Okay, so how this is working, let me show you, friends.